Hey, how's it going guys? And welcome to another Epic 7 video. So since we just had a hunt event buff this last weekend, I figured it'd be a good time to show you guys the teams I use for Wyvern, Golem, and Banshee 13. Now my teams are by no means the most optimal or optimized teams, nor are they the most free-to-play friendly. Because of this, I don't really intend this video to be a guide, but more of a reference for people who want more ideas when it comes to building their Hunt 13 teams. This way, you guys should have a better idea of the characters you guys need for specific roles within your Hunt 13 teams, and the alternatives that you have available. Alright, let's get started. So this is my Wyvern 13 team, which consists of Tywin as the frontline and tank, Karen as the single target damage dealer, Seaside Bellona as the AoE damage and debuffer, and last but not least, Luna for tons of damage. I'm going to go over their gears and stats real quick, starting off with Tywin. I actually have Tywin speed tuned to where he goes before Bellona, so he can provide the defense break on the first wave, allowing Seaside Bellona to one-shot the first wave most of the time. Sometimes she doesn't due to 15%. Artifact is Steady Fast Gatekeeper to reduce the amount of damage Tywin takes from the Wyvern, and this is his exclusive equipment. I have his skills fully maxed, but kind of a overinvestment that I did a long time ago. Next is Karen. Same with her skills maxed out, but she's one of your main damage dealers, so you kind of have to put in the Mola investment. This is her gear. I have her on a lot of attack and fairly low speed because I need her to go after Bellona and Luna most of the time. Or she goes around the same time as Luna. Their speed is pretty similar. But she definitely just needs to go after Bellona. Otherwise, she'll be wasting all her single target damage on the first wave. Exclusive weapon for the extra bleeds for more debuffs on the Wyvern. And she's on a max Daydream Joker. Here's my Seaside Bellona. Her gear is actually fairly good, at least for PvE. Not this one, though. This is her exclusive weapon or equipment. Reduces the cooldown of her skill 3 by 1 turn. And she's on a max Renegade special drink. Kind of regret upgrading this artifact. I feel like it was kind of a waste because I used to use this artifact instead. Where is it? Otherworldly Machinery. And the damage is pretty similar. I mean, this might do a little bit more damage, but honestly, it wasn't worth all the investment I put into it. Skills are maxed out. You probably want to max out her skills regardless, since she'll be doing a lot of damage as well. And last is Luna. I have her at triple S imprint. I used up all my unknown slates back in the day for this, and yeah, I have no other comment other than that. But her skills are maxed out. You need her skills to be maxed out because she's a damage dealer. These are her stats and her gear. Most of it is just average or even below average. This piece right here is pretty cracked. I might eventually remove it from her and reforge it. Maybe put it on someone else that needs it. This one's pretty decent. For her exclusive equipment, she's on the one that actually provides attack down on her skill 3. I kind of regret building this. At the time, I wanted more debuffs for the Wyvern, but now that I think about it, the one that gives her skill 1 that allows her to have combat readiness boost is probably the best one in most scenarios. As for her artifact, she's on Daydream Joker maxed out. Alright, first up is Wyvern. So I have my team speed tune where Tywin goes first with his S3 to provide the defense break. That way my Bellona can mostly one-shot these mobs. It's close to a one-shot, but it does get the job done. They're going to attack twice, and then she's going to counterattack. That clears out the first wave with no issues. On to the actual Wyvern. He's going to smack Tywin 3 times. We got the target luckily this time. My Luna does have the exclusive weapon that allows her to provide attack down on her S3, and she landed it, surprisingly enough. She does not have a lot of effectiveness. So we have 3 debuffs on the Wyvern. That's more than enough. Tywin's even going to take reduced damage from these attacks here, so he might even survive till the end. This one's looking like a pretty clean run. Hopefully I don't jinx it.
I thought this could be fun.
Alright, after this turn, the Wyvern's probably gonna go into... Oh no, I think it's one more turn. Yeah, one more turn. And then he'll go into the shield. What do you call it? Phase. We didn't get 3 debuffs, or 2 at least, on the Wyvern. That's why the Wyvern started attacking my Luna. Luckily, she survived. Yeah, we might one-shot it here. Oh, if we got a... Oh no, we still one-shot it. And there you go. That's the Wyvern run. Alright, next I'm going to go over my Golem team, which consists of Ravi as the bruiser slash front line, Ken as my defense breaker and single target damage, Sermia as the single target nuke, although you'll see her stats very shortly that she doesn't really do a good job, and Tamarin as my healer and cleanser. Alright, let's start off with Ravi here. This is her gear, just basically the free counter set that we got from the returning player rewards. Or at least some of them are. She's on the exclusive equipment that gives her an additional stun chance. And then she's on L's Fist. Before she was on Sigurd's Scythe, but I took it off and put it on my ML Bellona instead. But I think L's Fist is perfectly fine on my Ravi. Skills are maxed out. Yeah, they pretty much need to be. She doesn't do any damage otherwise. Next is Ken. Skills are also maxed out. He also does a fair amount of damage to the Golem, so definitely cannot skimp out on this. This is his gear. Fairly average gear, in my opinion. This one's pretty good, actually. He's on the exclusive equipment that allows a dual attack from the ally with the highest attack. Most likely going to be Sermia. I've even been using this in PvP sometimes against certain team comps. I find that this exclusive equipment makes Ken a lot stronger, especially with the extra crit rate. It makes him really easy to build. And for his artifact, he has a maxed out Draco plate, which I probably eventually will take out and put on a character that I actually use in PvP more often. Probably someone like Lionheart Sermia, whenever I decide to pull her. Speaking of Sermia, she's next. And I have to say, she's on some potato gear. Yeah. My Sermia is kind of, not really built well. But, I mean, she does sort of do her job. She ends up dying, though, most of the time in the runs. Because she's just too squishy. She's on the exclusive equipment that reduces the cooldown of her skill 2 every time she defeats an enemy with her skill 3. And for her artifact, she's on Daydream Joker, but it's not currently maxed out. I'm sort of trying to save on artifact charms, that's why I haven't really maxed it out. And honestly, even if I did max it out, I feel like she'd still probably die in most of the runs. The main carry for this Golem 13 run is mostly my Ravi. Her skills are completely maxed out. You kind of have to put in the investment, as she's going to be your main damage dealer in most cases, if you have her built properly, that is. And last but not least is Tamarin, our healer and debuffer. These are her skills. I put a little bit too much investment. Actually, I probably shouldn't have put any investment in her skill 1. I did this way back in the day, so... Like I said, not much I can do about it now. This is her gear and stats. Fairly average, or even below average gear. And a decent amount of bulk, at least for Tamarin herself. For her artifact, she's on Wanderer's Potion Vial. It's not currently maxed out, so it's a little bit subject to RNG, but then again, what isn't in this game? Next is Golem. This run might take a while. This team is definitely not the fastest team you can run, but it is one of the safest ones, that's for sure.
On my way. Slash the dream.
Already got the S3 from Ravi, which will help clear these ads a little bit faster.
Can you hold out much longer? Shall we bet on it? Ultimate.
Ken burning his skill 3 on an ad is not a good thing, though. So that kind of sucks. Well, at the very least, he has Vigor now, so he can pretty much defense break the boss guaranteed. Here's the Golem.
Yep.
Defense break kinda sucks. Oh, the blind really sucks on Sermia.
Go away.
And I think we have a couple of turns before Tamarin transforms. There's the defense break. Ravi doing a solid amount of damage. Sermia not. My Sermia actually just isn't like really important in this particular fight. In fact, yeah, she dies right here. I'm pretty sure my Sermia dies like about 50% of the runs, but it doesn't really matter because the main carry for this team is my Ravi. She can pretty much solo sustain in most cases, even if like, what do you call it? Everyone else on the team dies. Like Tamarin dies here. Which is really weird. Tamarin almost never dies in these runs. So, very rare occurrence you guys get to see. And there goes the Golem. Oh, we got some Mystics. And last is my Banshee 13 team, which consists of Shadow Rose as my defense breaker and frontline or tank, Vivian as my attack buffer and AoE damage dealer, Baiken as the single target damage nuke that one-shots the Banshee, and Bellona, which honestly isn't really needed if you already have your team optimized well. She's kind of just there to deal a little extra AoE on the first wave so my Vivian can finish off the first wave before it's Baiken's turn. Alright, let's get started with Shadow Rose's gear. Yeah, I pretty much put my worst gear on her because her only job is literally to apply the defense break on the Banshee. After that, I don't really care if she dies or not. She's on Super Duper Water Gun Shooter as her artifact for increased attack and effectiveness for the whole team. Skill-wise, I didn't put any Molagora investment into her. I made sure not to waste any at all this time. Next is Vivian. Skill-wise, you probably want to max her out. She'll be used in other PvE content as well, and she's a damage dealer, so definitely worth the investment. This is her gear. I want her super fast, so she's able to lap Baiken by one turn. We don't want Baiken taking her turn on the first wave, otherwise her entire combo gets ruined. And this is the exclusive equipment that helps her lap Baiken because it increases her combat readiness by 50% after she uses her skill 2. For artifact, she's on a max Daydream Joker for maximum amount of damage. Alright, here's Baiken, the star of the show, the one that one-shots the Banshee. Her gear is like average. Actually, this is pretty bad, but the other pieces are okay. They're at least good enough to be used in PvE. So, there you go. I run her super slow with a high amount of attack and pretty much maxed out crit damage. And of course, her artifact is going to be a maxed out Daydream Joker. Skill-wise, I have her skill 3 and skill 2 maxed out. Not her skill 1 because her combo is she's skill 2s into skill 3s. And then by then, the Banshee should be dead. That's why I didn't bother maxing out her skill 1. If you plan to use her in different content, then I guess this is worth it as she is a damage dealer. But since I mostly just use her for Banshee one-shot, I only need these 2 skills maxed out. Trying to save a little bit of Molagora here and there. And last, but probably least, and probably not even necessary if I built my team properly, is Bellona. Her skills are maxed out due to waifu reasons and what I did back then, so there you go. Don't do this if you don't plan on using Bellona, or if you plan on using her purely as like a debuffer. She doesn't need to be fully maxed out in skills. This is her gear. Pretty below average, honestly. I just put it on her just because. Yeah, this one has a lot of speed, though. Jesus Christ. She's on Bloodstone just in case something goes wrong and I don't end up one-shotting the Banshee, but odds are if I don't one-shot the Banshee, the run has probably failed, and even Bloodstone doesn't really do anything for me at that point. And last but not least is Banshee. This run has quite a bit of RNG. Mostly comes down to a 15%, where my Shadow Rose misses the defense break. That's usually when my runs get bricked.
Can you hold out for more?
First wave, honestly it doesn't really matter if Bellona even gets the defense break. She just needs to do a little bit of damage and Vivian can finish him off. Alright, so right here, if I missed the defense break, which I didn't, luckily, if I did miss the defense break, we won't be able to one-shot the Banshee, unfortunately.
All is done.
Alright, now Viking's gonna do this. Needs at least one... Okay, that's more than one bleed. I think if she doesn't land one bleed, we miss it by a little bit. And that's definitely a one-shot. Okay guys, well that's going to be it for this Epic 7 video. If you guys found the video helpful, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next Epic 7 video. Peace.